Hey guys, I'm Aditya and welcome back to Get Set Code by Newton School. I am an instructor here for Python, and in this video we'll continue with built-in functions in Python. We have been exploring the built-in functions in a few previous videos and we are almost at the end of our Python playlist. In this video we'll continue to check out some more functions because it is important to know what all functions are available to you that you can use instead of creating your own. So we'll do that, and before we get started with it, a quick introduction to Newton School. It is a platform which prepares you for a career in tech. So they have courses designed for freshers, working professionals, and also for women with no tech background. They'll first train you for 6 months, help you become an amazing full stack developer. And they have a network of 300 great companies who hire from them. So after the training is done, they'll ensure that you get placed in some of the best companies in the country. And the best part is that they have a pay after placement program, so you don't have to pay anything until and unless you are placed with minimum 5 lakh CTC. Also, a bit about the Launchpad initiative. So it's taken by Newton School for people who want to start coding from scratch and learn the different programming languages for absolutely free of cost. So they have different videos available in the Launchpad section where you can practice several quizzes and assignments for absolutely free of cost. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go over to newtonschool.co, and here if you do not already have an account you can quickly sign up, but since I already have one, I'll just log into my account. After you're logged in, go over to the playground section and go down to algorithm playground, and you can create a new playground or open an existing one, totally up to you, and this should take you to the code editor. Here, before getting started, we'll need to select our compiler, which is Python 3.8.1. And once we are here, let's get started with the function. So the first function that I want to look at is called the round function. So there are different times when we have to round a certain number to some digits. The round function, what it does is it returns a floating point number that is rounded version of the number that is specified to it, and with the specified numbers of decimals. So the default number of decimal is 0, meaning that the function will return the nearest integer. So let's look at this. So let us say there is this variable called num, and you're given a certain number. Let us take any decimal number like 6.724295, something like this, right? And you want to round it. So what you will do is you will type in round function with the brackets and pass in the number that you have. You can pass it in manually, and you want it to be rounded off to 2 decimal places. So you can type in the number of decimal places that you want, and once you'll run this program, but you'll see like it is rounded off to the 2 decimal places, 6.72, right? There are only 2 decimal places after like it is passed. But if you wouldn't specify the second parameter, what it will do is it will round it off to the nearest integer, which is 7. Because 6.7, the nearest integer is 7, right? You'll round it off. So that is what the round function does. And this is like an important function when you are performing some mathematical operation. You have a big output with a lot of decimal places. You want to limit it to two decimal places, or you want it to round it off to the nearest integer, so you can use the round function. The second function that I want to look at is the reversed. So reverse, what it does is function returns a reversed iterator object. It reverses the sequence of a list and prints each item. So let us check this out. Reverse. Right, and there is this list called alpha, which basically has all these alphabets in it. A comma B, right? C comma D, right? So these are like simple alphabets. Now what I want to do is I want to reverse this list. So I'll create a new variable called reverse alpha, which should have the reverse list. So I'll use the reversed function and pass in our original list to it, and then for each element in this reversed alpha list, I can print out those elements. Right. So let me run this program and then I'll explain it to you. Okay, let's try running this once. And yeah, okay. So what happens is we have this list called alpha, which has A, B, C and D in order, but we can use the reversed function to reverse a sequence of list, and we have saved it to reverse alpha list. So for each alphabet in this reverse alpha list, we are printing out the alpha, and you'll notice like first D gets printed out because the list was reversed, as in it was originally starting with A, but now it's starting with D, and then C, then B, and then A. So that is was what the reversed function does. It reverses an iterator, returns a reversed iterator, and that is it for this function. And the next function that I want to take up is called sorted. So let us say like there is this instead of having, or we can use a list, right? There is this list of alphabets with like random alphabets in it. So I'll make a list of like random alphabets with no particular order. And what you can do is there is this function called sorted, which basically returns a sorted list of specified iterable values. So you can specify like ascending or descending order, and strings are sorted alphabetically, numbers are sorted numerically. So if you'll pass in strings, they'll be sorted alphabetically. If you'll pass in numbers, they'll be sorted numerically. So I'll create a new list called sorted alpha, and I'll type in sorted. This is the function, and I'll pass in the list of alphabets to it. Now I can print out this sorted alpha list, and let's run this once. So what you'll see is that our original list was D, A, G, E, C. It was unsorted, but then we passed it to this sorted function, and we got a new list which is in alphabetically sorted order A, C, D, E, G. And this is a built-in function available in Python that you can use whenever you want to, sort a list. And you can also, instead of having it in like ascending order, you can have it in descending order by typing in reverse equals to true. So now your list would be sorted in a descending order, as in G, which comes later in the alphabets, would be printed out first, then E, then D, C, and A. So this is how you can make it descending by specifying another parameter called reverse. And similarly, you can do sorting and in descending order for numbers as well. Okay, let's run this program for numbers now, and what we'll see is like in descending order 89 would come first, and other numbers would come after it, 32, 4, and similarly you can also check it in ascending order, where you'll get like 2, 3, 4, 11, 32, and 89. So that is how it would work in this. That is how you can use the sorted function, and this is like a important function when you are working with different numbers or alphabets. You want something sorted quickly, you'll just use this function, pass in the list, and you'll get sorted list out of it. So that is how it works. The last function that I want to take up is the sum function. So like there is this list of alphabets, and you like want the sum of the different elements that is there. So what you can do is you can type in sum, replace sorted with sum. So we are using the sum function now, and pass in the list, and then you can print out the sum. And there you have it. So what it does is the sum function returns a number, the sum of all items in an iterable. So we had this list of different numbers, and what if we like want a sum of all those numbers? So you can type in sum and pass in the list that you have, and you'll get a number from it, which you can save it to another variable. We are using sum alpha here, and print it out to console. And there you have it. So both sorted and sum are like important functions that you might have to use later when you're doing data analysis with Python or something. So definitely like these are some important functions that are really important to take up. And the sum function can also have an optional start parameter, so a value that is added to the return value. So we'll start with the number 7 and add all the items. So let us like say you can specify the start value. So let us say there is a start value called 12. Sorry, it should be specified in this sum function, not in the print statement. And what would happen is that the sum function would start at 12 and then add all these numbers to it. So there is this optional parameter that is available to specify. So yeah, that is it for this video. We checked out the different built-in functions available to us in Python. We have already seen a few functions, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, do check them out. In this video, we took some mathematical functions as in which might be handy when you're working with data analysis in Python. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell icon to stay updated whenever we post a new video. And thank you so much.